Well, hi.
Hi.
Good timing.
Well, I just finished
everybody.
making my dinner. So,
Oh, good stuff. What are you having?
I am having chicken with a mushroom zucchini risotto.
Ooh, fancy. Fancy.
I found quite a few new favorite recipes going through HelloFresh.
Mhm.
So, like, I'm writing this out, and it's nice because the way they work, I've got enough for 2 days.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so I don't have to cook tomorrow. Well, I'll need to cook the chicken because I started just like only doing enough like meat, unless if it's like chicken breast, like only doing enough meat for one meal instead of both of them because it just gets dry if you reheat it.
Yeah. All right. Hello. How are you? Hi, Neva. Hi, Lexi. What are you having, Lexi? What are you eating? I got a Subway sandwich yesterday and got a foot long so that I could have half of it yesterday and half of it today. So that's what I'll be having in a little bit.
My dad will do that, but he'll like say, "Hey, I want everything separate from the sandwich except the meat." So like all the veggies will have to be put in separate containers.
Yeah, I should do that with the veggies, but I didn't.
Nice.
Ooh, lasagna. Love it. Hello. Gonna try to read a decent amount of Scarlet today. Nice.
I have to edit a video that's supposed to go up, but so
I probably should do that. I haven't put up a video this week yet, and I normally try to do like Sundays.
Yeah.
That's not happened at all. But you know, it's fine. I was hyper fixated on trying to make it possible for me to finish the thing, like the whole pyramid. So I tried to blast through some books, and I did.
How close are you to finishing?
I have half of it completely done, except for less than 100 pages. So I'm almost halfway there, and the other books that I have, a lot of them, I have the audio, and I have several like shorter or like faster books. In the second half, the hardest one is going to be the next book, and that is the new Riley Sager. That's going to be the hardest one to like get through quickly, just because I'm going to be reading it only physically, and it's like, you know, just a traditional prose book. So it's going to be like the hardest one to like get through fast because I don't have the audio to like. So other than that, most of the other ones that I have, let me see. Yeah, other than that, all the other ones except for one, I have are either like short, super short, or I have the audio like available on Scribd or something. So it's like I can bump up my pace by actually like listening while I get ready, and because like getting ready and listening to the audiobook is the perfect thing because I can have my annotation stuff there, so I can you know, doing what I would like to do with my eyeballs reading, you know, and not have to like miss out, because like when I'm driving I have to wait until I get home and then I have to flip back through that section of what I listened to and like add my annotations. But when I'm getting ready in the morning, golden, because it's all right there. I can just stop and do that real quick and then go back. So I'll be doing
I usually just take, if I need to take a note, because I use Bookly, I'll take a note in the Bookly app, just because a lot of the time when I'm listening to an audiobook, it is not a book that I own physically, so I'm using a library book. You know, we don't have library books.
Yeah, that's fair.
Throw them away. So
yeah. Ooh, I already got you, Crystal. There we go. 37% into Black Cake. It's all right so far, but today was a work day, so I need to kick back and relax. Yeah, that's fair. I actually am off tomorrow. They have a conference that they're hosting at my workplace, wherein we cannot have our children there.
I'm sure the parents are so happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, we've known for a few months now, so it's like it was definitely like pre-planned. They found out, I think it was like in February, so they've had time to prepare for this.
They're still not going to gripe about the fact that they had to prepare for it at all, honestly.
True facts. True facts. But yeah, so I'm very excited. Here's the dumb part though. I scheduled to get my nails done tomorrow
Mhm.
after work, but I don't have
You
after
don't
work
have work.
because I don't have the work part. And so now I'm conflicted because it's a 45-minute drive
Well, what you
to
can
my
do
nail
is
place. Like if I'm at work, then it's only a 15-minute drive. But from my house to my nail place is a 45-minute drive. And I don't know that I want to go all that way. And
so
like
it
I
might
thought maybe like sneak in if they happen to have any availabilities for
say
like a what do you call? Like I thought about like trying to get in yesterday or tonight and just moving my sprints to tomorrow like during the day. But no, she didn't have any availabilities. And then I was like, well, maybe I could like justify by like maybe making more an appointment. But her vet is not in on Friday.
Fridays.
So like my options are limited as to what I could like I could try to like go and take my car to get my air conditioner fixed, but even if they have an available slot to do it, that's going to take hours and I'm going to have nothing like limited places I can go if I'm walking. And while the weather would be sufficiently not pouring rain and storming like it has been the past week to do that, I still don't love the idea of doing it.
Yeah, I understand
So,
that. I feel like it's worth it to like call in the morning and say, hey, did you have any cancellations earlier in the day? To see if maybe you can get in a little bit earlier and like make a day, like have an afternoon out. Because I know that like even at the end of your workday, which is kind of like you don't want to go out by that point if you've been home all day.
Right.
And then if they don't say, hey, can we reschedule for like Monday or something?
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do is do Monday unless I can think of a good. Ooh, you know what? I do need to go get something for my class but I could still get it if I went on okay, that's not a valid enough reason. I'm trying to validate driving that far because like whenever I go into like when I'm going from work there, it's not so bad. Like I don't feel as much like I'm just.
Well, I mean, I drive out 45, 30, 35-ish minutes to where I get my hair done.
Yeah.
So, and that is the only thing that I ever have to do out that far from my house right now. So, and usually when I do that, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to stop at the Barnes & Noble that's nearby, and I'm going to do this and that and the other thing.
Right.
So, I need to check in with Rachel because the Barnes & Noble near her house is closing, which means that there is a Barnes & Noble near me that's closing.
That's rude.
I mean, I'm fine because my Barnes & Noble is staying open. We've got like 3 over in Tampa. They'll be fine. So I think I think it's not actually closing. I think they are moving that store to a more central location. If I remember correctly. So. Gotcha. There we go. Okay, that's how many it should have been. Trying to see a day when I stop counting stitches, but I keep losing stitches, so I don't see a day when I stop counting stitches. So anyways, you're still reading The Tattooist of Auschwitz?
Yes, I am on the last leg of it. I have.
How are you feeling about it?
I'm not hating it. And it's not been like super torturous.
Yeah.
To my feels. There have been a few moments that I'm like, okay, I need a break, but for the most part, it's been okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious though because of what Brianna said, like how much of it is like accurate to the original, like the real story that happened.
Well,
You know, so there is an interview in the back, like some notes from like one of the interviews and things, and like some additional information stuff in the back that I'll probably, of course, read through to like get a better idea of that. But you know, you can only get so much from that. So I'll probably have to at some point like kind of look it up and like find out and like look at maybe some reviews and stuff and see if there's any other information about that.
Is it a fiction book or a nonfiction book?
It's based on a true story.
Okay.
And it like it's the characters' names are the names of the real people. Yeah, like we're thinking Blind Side situation. You know, like it's like there's like there literally is the pictures of the real life people in the back. But like I don't know how much of it.
Dan having to like streamline some things so that you can fit it all in the book, but it sounds like she could have given the book a little bit more. To be truthful, a little bit more page counts.
Yeah. But yeah, so we shall see. Knowing, I think part of it is like because it's like I know because of the real life story how it's going to end. That's partially been helpful, I think, in the balancing of it all. Because like in a fiction story,
you don't know how it's going to end,
and I'm okay with that because it's not like we were talking about the other day. Like I'm not also balancing the emotional
toll
that a book about that kind of
genocide, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Books about genocide are not always my favorite experience. Are they important? Yes. Do I think that they matter? Absolutely. Do I think it's important to, you know?
Listen, I was trying to get some information on a potential patient or a parent that's being referred to us. And I opened up the FFA, and it was one of those FFAs that I don't read them because I don't want to know what happened. And so I got not a graphic description, but a detailed description of how this child was CSA'd multiple times.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that like, the person being referred to us does not understand why it's so bad. And it's like, you are this child's parent. And they are not the perpetrator. But like, because the teen was older, this basically what the person really needs is sex education and to understand that a child cannot give consent. Even if they say they are giving consent, they cannot give consent to a grown adult.
Right.
So, like, that's a tricky subject because then you get into kids' autonomy. But like, when it is a child versus a grown adult,
yeah.
So, we got another ding. So, but yeah, that was one of those that I opened it and I was trying to figure out some stuff with why they were referring her and what they were referring her for because there are a couple of different versions. And I was like, oh, this is why I don't look at these. So, anyways. But,
sorry, I got a work thing that I should not be looking at because I'm not at work. So I should leave it.
Just close it. Just close it.
I did.
It's done.
I mean, it's something that someone sent to me because they want me to know about something that is coming up. But still, I shouldn't analyze it right now. I should just like, okay, now I have it and leave it there and look at it later.
Hey, Neva. It can wait until Monday, Bree.
Absolutely. You're right. It's my Friday today. My work is closed tomorrow, Neva. It's magical.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I left work early today. So the story is that I got to work a little bit early. And I when I was packing, I forgot to charge my computer or bring my computer charger, and my computer does not, like, it cannot operate off of the charger any longer. Defeats the point of having a laptop, but it is a gaming laptop, so I knew that was going to be a problem at some point. So anyways, I was like, well, I don't have anything to work on, and I don't want to read the book I've read, so I just worked through lunch and left a half hour early because I usually stay till 5:30 on Thursdays, and it's just a week.
Why not?
It's been a week where I almost said not my 2 weeks. I almost said, hey, I'm gone next Friday. Like, that's my last day. Sorry. So.
Yikes.
Been one of those days. Oh, somebody's making popcorn downstairs.
How are you today, Neva?
Neva.
I'm doing great. It's my first of my 2 days off. Even though, like, this week is weird because we're taking Ari to my grandma's on Sunday, but I don't know if I'm counting that as a day off because we're going to be in the car for 16 hours. So,
yeah.
What, Ari?
I thought Dick Quiz goes.
No, what if Dick Quiz? If Dick Quiz calls back, I will call you in here. Go lay down, please. Or go read your books. Go, ma'am. Quiet time. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye. Yeah, but I slept a lot today because that's what I do on my days. So,
I mean, fair.
Especially on Thursday because her dad is home. So,
Yeah.
like,
when you can, you can.
I mean, eventually he's like, can you get up and deal with her? And I'm like, what is she doing? She's just watching TV. So you're not even
having to work, sir.
You're just sitting there then. Maybe singing a song if it's like a musical movie, but like otherwise, like, she's just. And he's like, yeah, but I want to watch anime. And I'm like, okay, so just kick her off the TV. Like, she'll watch anime with him, so I don't understand.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But otherwise, I am reading Divine Rivals, which, am I supposed to be reading Divine Rivals? No. I'm supposed to be reading The Villa for this vlog, but technically, Divine Rivals also fits for this vlog. Not really feeling The Villa. I'm just, like, not in the mood. Yeah. I think that I will like it. I'm just not in the mood. So I was like, let's do Divine Rivals because I am in the mood for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
For it.
Yeah.
We love it. Self-awareness.
Yes.
We need to practice more self-awareness.
Huzzah. Okay. How is Divine Rivals? I really want to read it, but my library doesn't have it yet.
Well, I'm only 3% in. Okay, I'm like 4 pages into the first chapter, and then I read like the prologue. But I read the prologue at 5:00 this morning, after I was off work, and then had to put my Kindle inside of my backpack, so I wouldn't just stay up and read it. So it's good. You know what I mean? Basically, this one, and then I'm also like making my way through Fear the Flames. But that one, I feel like I want to take my time with it. I was going to read it for this vlog, but I'd have to read it too quickly. They both are what I wanted from Fourth Wing, which, spoiler alert, I have to finish Fourth Wing this week this next week because I'm doing Rise video for my Reading My Friend's Favorite Books project, and it's one of the books that she gave me when I asked her if she wanted to change any of the ones, because she gave me all her books last year, and I was like, a lot is in a year. She gave me Fourth Wing, so I have to finish it.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, I just want you to know that I've made it like 30% through this book, and I don't like it. And she was like, please finish it. Yes. Message me, Rye. Message me. If I'm going to finish Fourth Wing this week, maybe the ending will get me. You know what I mean?
I mean, the ending was my favorite part of the entire book, was that last bit at the end. And I was like, okay, good.
Yeah. Maybe it'll get me.
I'm putting my vlog up, and it's just me slowly losing my mind as I start out really, really liking it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm still doing this, but I can't help but notice. Just
Yeah.
it's funny.
I mean, if you want to, right? Either way, I have to read this. So here's the thing. I either have to read it now. I have the audio, which I think is how I'm gonna finish it because I did start by listening. Like I was listening to the audio, and I like the narrator, even though it sounds like she has a head cold. Which is
She
terrible
probably thinks she did, which
for her.
yeah, terrible for her. And also like because one of the things they mentioned is that this book was a rushed publication. Most of the issues that people have with it, when they have issues with it, would have been fixed by like one more edit that's going into just a little bit more depth in some of the stuff. So like there's a lot of promise in this book.
Why was it so rushed though? Because like she's an established author in the romance world.
Entangled is doing a new imprint. And so part of I don't know why they rushed it. I would have taken especially since it was a new imprint, I would have taken a little bit more time and made sure it was the most polished product possible. But that does, like, people were talking about, oh well, they should have taken the time, and like with the audiobook, if she was set up, even if she was set up to record there, if she could record, they probably wouldn't have been able to reschedule, just because like that's how audiobooks work. Like audiobooks usually they might get enough time to read through it once.
Right.
So
yeah, but I mean it's terrible for her because like she does really good audiobook work, and I feel like
she does.
if this is the first thing that you've ever heard her narrate, because that was a lot of people's complaint, was that it sounded like she had a cold, and I'm like, okay, but like I went and I listened to some samples of like the Marissa Meyer stuff that she's done, because I've not actually read any Marissa Meyer, so you're welcome for that. And like her voice is soothing, like even with her having a cold, like I like her narration.
I really have a problem with her voice. Like I heard people talking about voices and mouth noises, and I'm like, I actually liked her performance. I thought she did a pretty good job with it.
And if you speed it up fast enough, it's harder to hear like where she swallows or like takes like really deep breaths. I had it only at like 1.5 speed because it's technically a fantasy romance, and sometimes with fantasy, like with the world building and stuff, I need it to be a little bit slower than I normally would. But with that one, I was like, well, I can speed this up, so I just
there's not a lot of world building.
Right. There's just a lot. I mean, she just kind of recites the world building to us, so I don't have to pay that much attention.
Yeah. She could have done something really clever with that, and I'm very disappointed she didn't. I'm like, Rebecca, sit down with me. Let's talk about this. Let me do a developmental edit for you.
So. All right. Are we ready to go?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay.
That said, I did give it 3 stars. I had a good time reading it. So
that's important. Okay. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome back. How did everyone do? Margaret, you are still muted.
Yeah.
There you go.
My mouse me and doesn't like to work the first time.
Yeah.
Well, I took my video from an hour and 20 minutes. So far, we've managed to cut it down. Made some real progress. Cut it down to an hour and 19.
Oh, nice.
I'm 7 minutes in.
Nice.
So.
I got to the epilogue.
Yay.
So I literally have like half of this, and that.
And
that's
to go
it.
back to the sprint.
Yeah.
I'll
finish it off in the next one. I will finish off in this. And I started working on laundry things.
Oh, yay. I have laundry things on my bed currently. I just don't care.
Yeah.
That's Friday Margaret's problem at this point.
Yeah.
You get to read Regine's tomorrow, though.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right.
How'd everyone else?
Let's see. Reading Legends and Lattes. How are you enjoying it? How far are you in? I also read that during this readathon. I read it for debut author.
Nice.
So how are you doing it? Currently reading The Unhoneymooners. Nice. I really enjoyed it when I read it. The Unhoneymooners, I really enjoyed it. I think it was different, like the ending and everything. It wasn't like, it wasn't like a basic, typical ending, and so I kind of enjoyed that aspect of it.
With some nuance to it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's real sad to hear that, like, they're closing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like at this point, it feels like it probably is punishment for the strike. But the strike had to happen.
Truth. Read 15 pages of Lost World by Michael Crichton and watched 3 YouTube videos. Nice.
Nice.
I am woefully behind on. I was caught up, and now I'm like falling back behind, which is a problem because I'm trying to watch all of my friends' videos in order, but I can't. I have to stay caught up on all the other videos that are currently being published to go back and look at all the old things. And so I get caught up, and then I'm like, okay, now I can start getting back, because like I'm on I need to do Brianna's, I need to do yours, I need to do Rise. I have a lot of people that I need to go back and watch all of their older videos from before I met them and everything.
I'll just tell you, anything pre-Avengers, like, I would love it if you got there. I would love the watch time, but just like,
oh, it's gonna happen. I can't help it. It has to happen. It's a part of like.
Just know that if you were to skip it, it would not be the end of my world. I really should go through there and see if there are any that I really like and want to like re-spotlight. Maybe that's what I'll do. 6-year booktube anniversary that's coming up here soon.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. So what all did you get done again?
I got a few minutes of editing done. I'm editing.
It like the brain, you get it, right? I was like, I know you already said, but like I've already forgotten this.
Jen Cousins speaking, and she's kind of going through like she's part of an organization in Florida that goes around and helps fight some of the book bans that are happening.
Right.
And so she's talking about like what they do, and then there's also a section where she talks about what other people can do. So I thought that's considering the rant that's going to be coming later in this video about how people decided not to come to Florida and called it activism. So anyways.
Yeah.
I can talk again.
I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna just go right into trying to start. Oops, dropped it. The only one left. Like right after I finish this, should I just try to dive right in, or do I need a minute?
I think I'd dive right in. No.
Yeah.
Kaiden
is doing something in there. They just got home. They went by their house for a minute, and apparently he tried to eat a little bit of drywall, stuck his hand in it, and yeah,
that's real good for you, Chumley.
Yeah, and also he got it all over his shoes, so that's good.
Oh, fun. How much longer are they gonna till they get to move into their new home?
The goal is September.
Nice.
So hopefully that will happen. The next section of work is going to be kind of the hardest though for it, because it's like now we're kind of in the home stretch where it's all the things that Kayla is and Brooklyn's going to do mostly on their own.
On their own?
Yeah, because they don't really need a crew to do flooring and paint and cabinets and, doors, like that kind of stuff is all the stuff that you can do by yourself without paying somebody and so we'll see.
Yeah, but that's understandable. I know my parents did a lot of the work, which my dad was already a handy person. His dad but my parents did a lot of the work on our house when they first moved in themselves.
Yeah,
they renovated the entire thing. They were not going to be here for 30 years. But we ended up staying here. This is where they raised the kids, and at this point probably where they're going to die.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I was not expecting to still be living in this house at this point in my life, but everyone else is not. Well, I mean, Brooklyn is back, but
and I'll probably be living in it a little bit longer, considering that getting out of where I work is probably more important than getting out of here.
Yeah.
Might find I regret that later, but
I mean, to be honest, going from depressed.
No. You need to make sure that when you're diving into the book, you do it in the deep end.
See, going from this to this is definitely like it's gonna do my brain a little bit of harm. Probably, it's gonna take a second probably for my brain to like situate into like a completely like the writing style, the the vibes, the all of it is so different, but like in a weird kind of different. Like I haven't been reading historical fiction a lot lately, so it's going to be an adventure going from historical fiction back into something else, considering how little I've been reading it.
Yeah.
All right. I think that we might go ahead.
Another sprint.
Dive into another sprint. Neva had to take care of something, so she'll be back, I'm sure, when she can. But I am ready to close out this chapter on the scramble. Somebody please appreciate my pun.
The pun. I'm so sorry.
I'm ready to close out this chapter of the. Also, side note, before we dive in, I just need to share this with someone. I don't know how this happened because I bought this book at Walmart. The sticker's there. So I didn't open the box to get this out. So I did not do this.
Oh, yeah.
We cut it when they were opening a box.
This is why you should always check your books before you leave the store with them, Margaret.
True facts. I didn't even notice it. Like, this has been on my shelf for a couple of years now. Oh, hey! Yeah. Perfect. I'm so glad I did that detour to talk about this because that was the perfect timing. But yeah, I didn't even notice it, and I've had it on my shelf for a couple of years. I didn't notice it until I was looking at my shelves to try to pick a different option because I was gonna read a different book for the intimidating prompt, but then I switched to this because that one was too similar to the Firefly Summer. I didn't want to read I don't like reading books that have too many similarities close to each other. Yeah, because I feel like I can't appreciate either one of them gets kind of gypped, like I can't appreciate it because I'll spend my entire reading experience comparing it to another. More space in between, so it's probably going to be like a maybe next year kind of book. Yeah. How were things for you, Neva?
Fine. I went ahead and I used a credit to get Divine Rivals just because I needed to go deal with something, and also the chapters are long. I'm not really a long chapter girly, you know what I mean? If the chapter is longer than 10 minutes, like I can't. But I am enjoying it, and it is like dual point of view. Or like two narrators,
Yeah.
I think it's YA. I think it's supposed to be YA. Or new adult. I'm not really like. It's definitely, if it's YA, it's definitely like older because the main character is 18. But it's like fantasy romance.
I feel like there should be
by Rebecca Ross.
I feel like we need a specific word for that genre, that subgenre. Like, instead of saying both, I feel like it needs its own special name because it's such a popular subgenre.
New adult or?
Someone told me that it was like a lot of people that are talking about are saying that it's YA.
Yeah,
I could understand it being YA because it reads like YA. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it's definitely like older YA if it is.
Yeah, it's shelved as YA on Goodreads. It's fantasy romance young adult.
Yeah, it doesn't, and I mean, not that I'm that far into it. I'm only on chapter 5, but like, it's like enemies or rivals to lovers. Not really enemies. I would say rivals to lovers.
YA is hard because YA really needs to be able to cater to like 14-year-olds and also like 16, 17-year-olds.
It's such a broad age range.
It is.
Like
it's definitely like an older YA. I wouldn't give it to my 14-year-old probably to read.
No.
Yeah, I feel like like youth books should really have more subcategories because like it's especially like for parents, and for
it's hard because you'll have like there will be 16-year-olds that can't handle some of the like stuff written for 16-year-olds, but then you'll have 14-year-olds who can.
Right.
So it's one of those things that YA is one of those things where it has to be probably honestly is the genre that you probably have to research the most because unlike like children's lit, like unlike middle grade and like under, like middle grade and under, it's divided by reading level,
Right.
So people, like, you kind of know a bit more about what you're getting into, but young adult, everything is all kind of mushed together. And part of why it's all mushed together is there are different levels of maturity in kids.
Exactly. And it's like that age range is like some of the most brain development.
Yeah, like you have 14-year-olds that are having sex and 16-year-olds that aren't ready yet.
Right.
Which it's arguable whether or not the 14-year-old is ready, but
yeah.
So, and like the 14-year-olds need access to books that are going to be talking about safe sex and consent just as much as the 16-year-old does.
Right. So, and that's like a super hard thing to try to.
Yep. And like it's tough because like subject matter, kids go through dark shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So like it really it's one of those things you really have to know the kid and know what they can handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, young adult is increasingly being written for 30-year-old women. So there is that.
True fact.
But I also think that they figured out that like that there are so many of us that haven't necessarily outgrown young adult also. You know what I mean?
Because you don't outgrow good stories. If someone tells a good story, it doesn't matter what. Like, interesting that like you'll see people get real weird about grown women reading YA, but they won't get real weird about women reading like, say, Chronicles of Narnia or rereading Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Which like Harry Potter is middle grade.
Yeah.
To adult.
You don't see people getting weird about grown-ups reading middle grade as much as you see them getting weird about grown-ups reading.
I've always thought it was weird. Now, I will say that, like, I don't, unless it's, like, marketed to me, like, unless somebody says, like, hey, you should read this book, I do not tend to read YA contemporary as much anymore.
That one.
Yep.
That one
because as a 31-year-old adult, it almost makes me feel uncomfortable sometimes, especially if there's any kind of like spiciness to it at all. I'm like, I do not feel like I should be reading this. But like YA fantasy is what
fantasy is fantasy. Like there really is very little difference between YA fantasy and adult fantasy. I'm going to be totally honest.
Which is true. Usually it's just, I mean, at least I've found that with the difference is usually readability, and that's about it.
Readability and the amount the pages. There are not as many differences as people want to say between adult fiction and YA. Like there are differences, do not get me wrong. But like they are not as drastic as people like. Yeah. I also am in the position where like so much of my childhood was like kind of being a little adult that like reading YA for me is a little bit of a healing.
Yeah, and honestly for me as well, because I mean, I use reading as an escape now, but when I was younger I used it even more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like as a way to just not. So to pick up like YA books, especially fantasy ones, it's a whole different like healing nostalgia thing.
Yeah, and for me it's still like I don't know, like just the fact that I've had to go back and do some of that work for my younger self and realize like I'm continually realizing things that my younger self like needed and didn't get. And it wasn't even like I was listening to something about CPTSD and the lies that we tell ourselves, and like so much of it was talking about self-worth, and I was like, my parents were really good about self-worth, and then I was like, you know what wasn't great about self-worth? My church.
Yeah.
Because being told that you're bad and a sinner is going to have an effect on a child's brain. Yeah. But like I have a really easy time, I feel like, reconnecting with the part of myself that was a teenager, because I think that the part of myself that was a teenager really didn't get to be as much of a teenager as she could have been, you know?
Yeah.
Like she obviously was young and naive and stuff, but she didn't. There's a lot of stuff she didn't get to do.
Yeah.
And so I vicariously live it out through YA books.
Yeah. Fantasy is funner than adult.
I think it depends. Like some of the YA, I'm reading is really
yeah, there's like serious fantasy that's like, you know, more intense and like, you know, and then there's like lighter and more, and then there's the in between.
Yeah.
Can't lie, had a nap sprint, went swimming midday. Ooh,
Oh.
that'll do it. That'll do it. I basically could have gone swimming, except for I might have also gotten hit by lightning. We had thunderstorms, and it was boring.
Yeah, that is one of the few things we respect here in Florida is the thunderstorms. You get out of the pool and with that thunder's crackling.
Yeah, it was supposed to be my class's water day today, and so they were super sad because we were still holding out hope. Like they brought their stuff just in case because it might have not started until after, but it started about 15 minutes before our time. And I heard like a pretty solid peal of thunder, and I was like, "Well, there goes. That's that.
That's not happening now.
Not friends." So they were distraught. A lot of them just left their water day stuff in their cubby, and I'm like, "Yep, might as well just save it for next week." It's already here now. But all right, let's go ahead and dive into another sprint so I can finish this book. Kaiden approves. You can hear that. Yay, yay, yay. That was him. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hello. Welcome back.
Hello. Where the fuck is? Okay, there it is. I found it. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. I found it. Okay. Everything's fine. I just went and measured like where my blanket is on my bed right now, and with the amount of weight that I want it to have, I might be able to get the whole year on here because it doesn't go as far as I was thinking it would go.
Nice.
So this might be doable. Anyways, I got to 12 minutes edited. Some of that is going to get cut out because it's cushion I gave myself for the intro because I don't know how to copy paste without deleting stuff unless there's a bunch of space there. Premiere, I have it like sometimes it works and sometimes Premiere Pro is weird. So
yeah.
Since I'm new to this, it's just for safety. But I've got it down to an hour and 17 minutes now instead of an hour and 19, guys. I'm making so much progress.
We love it.
I'm going to be happy if I can get this vlog under an hour because I have so many things to say about Fourth Wing.
Yeah. I finished my my book and it was good. The ending was good. It took some unexpected turns, like their lives did, like not the plot, because like the plot is it literally the epilogue is definitely got to be pretty much straightforward. The actual things that happened, I'm pretty sure. But I didn't like hate it. And I finished a book that had to do with the Holocaust, which I didn't know if that was going to happen. So
it is really fascinating to study that and to see what people did to survive and like how, like, it's one of those things that yes, it is terrible and tragic and like really hard to read about. But there will also be those glimmers of just like humanity being its best in there as well. That make you go, why do we have to wait for tragedy for us to be able to do this?
Right.
So
yeah, for sure. After I finished reading the epilogue, I was folding the laundries. And so I did that, and then I was really hungry, so I grabbed my chips, but I didn't get my sandwich yet. So I should probably do that to actually fully, eat
that for a dog or a child gets it.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully I will do that in the next friend. And I did.
Have y'all seen the one TikTok of the woman that she goes through all this effort to recreate like her favorite Panera sandwich or something? I don't remember what it was, like where it was from, but she like and she's like, look at that, that looks so good. And she puts it down and turns away to get something. And as she's turning away, her dog hops up on the counter and steals her sandwich.
I love it.
Like, it's the most unexpected and hilarious ending to a TikTok that's all like, okay, so like we're doing this and we're doing this. I died.
I love that.
Sorry. Okay, I'll be quiet now so other people can talk.
I have not seen that though, but it sounds great. One time my mom was making, I think it was a burger, and my parents had this dog called Threat, was his name, and he got up there, and he was such a smart dog, and he got up there and stole it, like in the time that she turned around to get the ketchup and turned back around. Was like off with it, and it was like gone. There was no.
That's your sandwich now.
Yep.
Unless it has something that will physically harm you, or if you eat it, it's your sandwich now.
Right. He also, that specific dog would go and sit. He would either go into the bathroom or like sit sit on the toilet or put his paws up on the toilet when he needed to go potty. Like, that's how he would tell them that he needed to go to the bathroom.
That's funny.
Like, he would go to the actual
We had a
bathroom.
bell on our back door.
You know what you do here? I need to do that.
We had a bell on our back door that Susie would ring.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point that we didn't even need her to ring anymore. She'd just go back and she'd bark at us at the door.
Yeah. Sam did a bell, but his was the
A button?
The Karen kind of bell, you know, that the Karens at the hotel ding.
Oh, the dingy bell. That
that kind. Yeah. And sometimes he would get a little too aggressive and he would like hit it and it would like slide across the floor. And this is carpet, mind you. For the majority of his life, it was carpet.
Samuel, calm down.
Right? It was next level. I mean, he was part Chihuahua, so are we surprised? Like, no, not really. But yeah, other than that, I also started a couple of vlog clips for, I did a vlog clip to update my Scramble vlog, but also because I impromptu have decided that because this is my third Riley Sager, it needs to be a part of this series that I'm doing. And so I started an impromptu clip to start that. And except for I didn't like do a full-on like introduction clip because it's very loud in here. Kaida is now watching The Emperor's New Groove for the first time. Yeah, and it's the first time Kayla picked it out. And I thought it was a good choice too. Yeah. So now we can work on him being able to say llama, and that'll be great. So there's a lot of noise going on, as you can probably hear some of. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do like hey, I'm starting the book now, and I'll do an actual intro later to Future Bree so that I can like insert the clip out of order and no one know that it's not in chronological order that I filmed the clips, but I'll know to put them in not chronological order in time and put them in the correct order of where the like I was like, hey, future self, like
this
kind
goes
of
before this one, but after that one,
right. So I kind of did that to tell myself like, hey, you're gonna make this video and you're starting here, but you're not gonna talk about what you're doing right now because you're not gonna have good. It's gonna be too much background noise and no one's gonna listen. So, yeah. Let's see. Missed
that's
the last chat.
My room has an door.
Yeah. Didn't read, watched 2 more videos. That's
Nice.
still awesome. And filmed some vlog clips. That is also great.
Oh,
Read up to chapter 10 in the Unhoneymooner for your buddy. Awesome. What are you going to pick up next? Oh, wait, you just said. Just started The Serpent and the Wings of Night on page 15. Nice. It returned. I got distracted by a squirrel outside my window. In other words, I had a literal squirrel moment. I love that. I love that for you. I love that for you. Yeah. Oh, that's wild. I had some cats that would eat food that was left on the kitchen counter. Yeah. Oh no.
Oh. I think she faked her own kidnapping potential.
They're saying now that it was so originally they thought it was a kid, like she like disappeared, right? Then she got found. Now they're saying that it's looking like Sherry Papini 2.0.
Wild.
Unbelievable. And a lot of people were saying that like the boyfriend did something because he never made any kind of like a statement or anything until after she was found. So people were like, he must have been involved, like that kind of thing. But now they're saying because I like, and especially because like she showed up at her own house. Like she didn't even like she wasn't found like on the side of the road. Like she
Right.
went back to her house and knocked on the front door.
Yeah.
Man, something's not adding up here.
Right.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
but,
hearing in my head. Like that's
like,
like
she,
that.
like,
That's what that sounds like.
I feel like she just like Google searched Carrie Papini and then or Sherry Papini and then just like tried to redo that. Like
I don't know how people think that's going to go well.
I mean, there's also like a movie that's like that. I don't remember what it was called. It was like a horror movie, I think.
Yeah.
Where like the girl disappeared and then like years later she came back to her own, like to her house and knocked on the door, but then like she was an imposter type thing. But like, how are you gonna come back to your own house and knock on the door?
Lost her keys apparently.
I don't understand.
Like wow. This world is wild, truly.
Mid-frozen pizza with some pizza slices went to the living room to eat. Came back from her beats back. Oh no!
Oh, the cats are lactose intolerant. So that cat would have had the shits too.
Weird.
Like, listen, I'm glad that she was safe and nothing happened. So like that's the important part. But like, girl.
My thing is, like, of all the movies, because I didn't watch any press conferences, but I've been, Annie Elise, she has the YouTube channel 10 to Life. She posts like updates straight, I think maybe to her TikTok too, but I don't follow her on TikTok. I really do not mess with TikTok unless I have to. But she posts all of it to her Instagram. If she doesn't have enough to like make a full video, she just will post updates to things that people want her to talk about to her Instagram. So I've been following it that way. And like, of all the movies to Google, like, why did you Google Taken, bro? Like, that chick was literally like, the girl in that movie is like Liam Neeson's character's daughter or whatever, and is literally kidnapped and then sold into trafficking, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, I've seen the movie.
And like, how did you think that was what was going to help you fake your own kidnapping? Did you call someone as you were getting fake kidnapped and scream out the description that you saw? No? Okay. Because I don't know. It feels weird. You know?
Like, tell me you need attention without telling me you need attention. Is all I'm.
Not necessarily. It could be like sometimes stuff makes sense to people when they're struggling with mental health and stuff. So it could have been something else. Like it couldn't. It not necessarily just have been. I mean, it could have been her just wanting attention, but a lot of the time, when people are like trying to get our attention, there's something deeper there.
Yeah.
There are a couple of, because Lexi commented about waiting for the true crime YouTubers. There are a couple of them that follow things like in real time. I don't follow them super closely, but they show up on my For You page a lot. I don't follow them because I don't have time to follow things in real time, to be honest with you. And it annoys me sometimes to have to rewatch those specific live streams back.
Yeah.
Because of the conversations that are being had in the live stream. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But there are a couple that are following it like in real time. I personally don't think that any of like the big true crime YouTubers like Kendall Ray or Annie Elise or Danielle Hallen or Stephanie Harlow will cover it until we have like definitive
answers. That makes sense. I can like it'll make sense to have like one comprehensive video from those.
Yeah, which is why Annie posts all her stuff to her Instagram, is because then you can follow it if you want or not. But she doesn't feel like she has to do all the editing and stuff in order to put out a 5-minute video that's like, I'm sorry, I have no information other than this.
I got this one snippet of information.
Yeah.
unless they're like a niche YouTuber that does like Danielle Howland did this for a while, but she stopped. Where she would do case, she would do like mini case coverage, so she would cover like 4 or 5 cases
Cases all at once.
have enough information all at once, and then later do like an update video on those like an update on those same 5 cases in a different
Mhm.
video as she got more information.
That
But I
makes
know she stopped doing that when she started having some like personal stuff going on, because it took more time to
sense. More.
research those than the big
Right.
cases.
Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah. Hello, how are you? How's it going? What you working on tonight? Or are you just chillaxing? A few cases that piqued my interest. Yeah, that's fair.
I think the only thing I followed in real time was the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case.
Yeah, same.
Because it was literally on the news, but like I didn't feel like having to watch the news to find out what was happening. So I would just like follow it as people were following it in real time on YouTube.
Yeah,
And
I watched some of the live, a lot of the live. I got very invested. Not in like actively caring about like the whole drama of it all so much as like
that one of the frustrating things about that is it's so much
more
more televised, and it shouldn't have been. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Just like something like that should have been kept private between these two people.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't get into too many of my opinions because it makes people mad.
Yeah.
So, like, I follow a lot, but I'll just say this: I follow a lawyer that I really like a lot of her videos that she does breaking stuff down, and I was very worried about what her stance would be on that case because I know that it's not necessarily the popular stance. But I was very happy to see the video that she made on it. So.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that works too. That works too.
truly, I got more invested in that case than I really should have. Like, than it's healthy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was more in it for like to see. I was just invested in like the gaslighting and the manipulation that occurred, and and also like the court politics themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The drama of the lawyers themselves was honestly more interesting to me than anything else. Just watching the lawyers duke it out like over the stupid moves and missteps that kept happening. That was what I was the most invested in, to be honest. It was just yeah. All right. Are we ready for another sprint?
Yes.
All right.
I need to get this video worked on some more. I've got an hour and 5 minutes and I still have to edit through.
The struggles. I don't ever put together my footage and look at how much I have time-wise. I probably should. I never look at how much footage I have time-wise because I'm kind of afraid to see how much I ramble and like repeat the same thing and re-explain it and get off topic, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid to see how long I actually spend filming. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hello. Sorry, it took me a second.
Hi.
There we go. Okay, I never changed my thingy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh. Okay, how did that go for everybody?
Well, I cut another 2 minutes, and we're now at 15 minutes into the video, out of an hour and 15 minutes.
Nice.
I've gotten to the B-roll section that I'm not even sure I'm going to keep. Honestly, I'm not even sure I'm going to keep. So, but
I didn't really get any reading done hardly. I ate dinner and then tried to read, but was mostly distracted by the tiny human and the, what do you call the movie? Because it was, yeah, and so I just couldn't
right, what even are those?
Yeah. So I did a teensy bit. I read 7 pages. That's it.
Cool.
Better could be worse. At least I read, I started reading the book. You know, that's something. I got it. Good. Oy, I got sleepy during that last little bit too. How did everyone in the chat do? Let us know how you did. What are your plans for tomorrow?
I don't believe I have any plans. I'm gonna finish editing this stupid video. It should have been done edited. And then prepare for the weekend. I need to set up to do some filming that I'm gonna need to do on Saturday, I think. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it Sunday. So I think I have to film on Saturday, which is fine.
Yeah.
I used to do this time. Saturday used to be my filming day, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think it stopped because I would go to the library. So I just decided to make Sunday my filming day. But
Yeah.
I have 5 short videos that I'm going to try and put a video out every day next week.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Let's see how that goes.
You got this. I typically film on Sundays now because I already have my makeup done.
Makeup on. Yeah.
So
yeah, and that would make sense. You know, that was part of why I did it, because I would already have makeup on and have my hair did. So
it's just more convenient that way. If it's like, well, I'm already done up, I might as well make use of it. Got all situated, before I take it all off. And then rather than having to, get situated and put together feeling.
Yep, exactly. Just makes more sense. But I believe we may have a lunch meeting this Sunday, potentially.
Oh, yeah. Fun.
That's fine. A few more months and I'll be able to do this stuff during the week and actually have a weekend.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
So.
Oh, dear. He's sad about it. I don't know what college to do for August.
I mean, I feel like you should do Team Purple colors since you agreed to be on the.
Ooh, should I?
Is that not what we decided?
I mean, Maybe?
Listen, the color cover is only 50 extra points. People are making a much bigger deal out of
Right,
it.
exactly. Like that's kind of where I'm with it at this point. Like I have such a mixture of colors, like I'm not really that worried about it at this point what the color of the book is. Let's see. Pick some stickers. Is August the month that we do the sloth? This one I've been like certain stickers. I'm like they're so good that I save them for like I don't know something special. This little sloth is so cute, and the color of the cup is just that perfect teal. You know, like he's so cute.
Yeah. I need to get my shit together for August.
Yeah, I was like, well, while I'm sitting here, because I finally had my craft paper available, because I hadn't been doing the little title page for each month fully because I hadn't had didn't know where I put my page of craft paper that I was working on because I didn't want to start a new page of tearing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A page that had already been started. So I was like trying to find it, and now 2 months later I finally found it. And so
yeah, that makes sense.
Since I was putting in those other two, I was like, well, I might as well go ahead and do the August one since we're close enough at this point. Crazy.
I need to sit down and start working on mine.
All right. I'm not sure.
I think it might just be us.
Yeah.
So.
All righty. Do you have anything you would like to plug before we go?
I had a Taylor Swift recommendations video go up last weekend. So if you're into Taylor Swift, check that out. Also, if you just want some book recommendations for different vibes on her album, or different vibes based on songs, go ahead and check that out. And then I have sprints.
Also, you can use it in reverse. Like if you liked this book, listen to this Taylor Swift.
Listen to this song.
Like if you're new to
literally that entire album could be the background to Little Thieves.
Yeah.
So anyways, and then I'm doing sprints at 9:30 in the morning on Saturday and going till who knows when. Okie dokie.
Oh dear. Yeah. The struggles. Oh, you disappeared. Oh, there we go. Like your voice disappeared for a second.
Oh, did it?
Weird. Yeah.
No one stole it on this end.
Yeah, that was weird.
But yeah, that's it. I have videos that have gone up, and I would love it if you could watch and comment and all of the good things. And then I have a live happening Saturday morning for more sprints.
Gotcha. Awesome. All right.
Yes, that's right. Neva is doing reading scramble sprints at noon on Fridays, and then also at 12 a.m. Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
She is a late night queen.
Pro status. I have sprints again next week. So check back next Thursday. And I have to stop yawning. I have a Pretty Little Liars video that's supposed to be coming out. Should have already been out, but I've been reading instead of editing. So maybe I'll fix that tomorrow since I'm off. And also my mid-year freakout tag will be going up next week.
Nice. That should be fun. I don't even know how mine did. I haven't paid attention to it since I put up the Taylor Swift video.
Yeah, I hear.
So I was like, oh, next video, we've moved on.
Yeah, I'm really bad about like going back and looking at
previous video.
Yeah, I don't really.
It doesn't show up in my analytics page.
Think about the analytics as much as I probably should.
it'll be months before I remember to
Yeah.
go back and say, oh yeah, how did that video do?
Yeah.
I think it's done really well. My last few videos have gotten some pretty high views. Like I'm actually doing better than when I went on my break since July. Yeah. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's good. Alrighty. I feel like that's about it. So thank you guys for tuning in with us, and we will see you again tomorrow on Neva Sprints if you can, on Saturday morning on Neva's if you can, or on Saturday morning on Margaret's if you can. So yeah, come and hang out with us again soon. We will see you there. Have a great evening. Yay, Friday. Enjoy your weekend. All the good things.
Yes.
Bye. See y'all later.